In February 1920, a boatman on a Leicestershire canal felt his tow rope catch on something below the surface. When he hauled it up, dripping and rusted, he was holding the frame of a green bicycle. He didn't know it yet, but he had just pulled a 7-month-old murder investigation out of the water. To understand why that bicycle mattered, we have to go back to the evening of the 5th of July, 1919. Bella Wright was 21. She worked at a rubber factory outside Leicester and cycled everywhere. To work, to her uncle's house, to the post office. That Saturday evening, she rode out through the lanes near the village of Little Stretton. At around 9:30, a farmer found her lying in the road on the Via Divana, an old Roman road, her bicycle beside her, blood on her face. At first it looked like a tragic accident, a fall, a head injury. The local constable examined the scene by lamplight and found nothing suspicious. Bella's body was moved. The road was left open. But that constable couldn't let it go. The next morning he went back, alone, and walked the road in daylight. 17.5 yards from where Bella had lain, pressed into the surface of the lane, he found a .455 caliber bullet. Bella Wright hadn't fallen. She'd been shot just below her left eye. This is where the investigation breakdown begins, because the police did almost everything right and still watched the case slip away. Witnesses came forward quickly. Earlier that evening, Bella had visited her uncle in the village of Galby. A man had waited outside for her, a stranger on a distinctive green bicycle. He'd spoken to her uncle. When Bella left, the man rode off alongside her, into the lanes where she would die less than an hour later. The police had a description. They had the make, a green BSA, an unusual model. They circulated it across the country. Bicycle shops were canvassed, newspapers printed appeals, and for 7 months, nothing. The man on the green bicycle had simply evaporated. Then came the canal. When detectives examined the frame the boatman had dredged up, they found something telling. The serial number had been carefully filed off. Whoever dumped this bicycle knew it could be traced, and had tried to make sure it couldn't be, but they'd missed something. BSA stamped a second duplicate number in a hidden position inside the front fork. It was still there. Detectives took that number to the manufacturer, traced it through the dealer's records, through the original sale, and arrived at a name: Ronald Leight, a 34-year-old former Army officer, now working quietly as a maths teacher in Cheltenham. The Canal gave up more. Dragged again, it produced an Army revolver holster and cartridges, .455 caliber, the same as the bullet in the road. When police found him, Leight denied everything. He'd never owned a green bicycle. He'd never been near Galby. Then, at trial in June 1920, he did something almost no defendant does. He changed his story completely, and admitted nearly all of it. Yes, he was the man on the green bicycle. Yes, he had ridden with Bella Wright that evening. Yes, when he read that police were hunting a man matching his description, he had filed off the serial number and dropped the bicycle, the holster, and the ammunition into the canal, piece by piece, under cover of darkness. But he insisted he had left Bella alive, and panicked only because he knew how it would look. His barrister, Sir Edward Marshall Hall, perhaps the most formidable defense advocate of his era, attacked the one thing the Crown couldn't fully explain: the bullet. Fired close up, a .455 round should have caused catastrophic damage. Bella's wound was strangely clean. Marshall Hall suggested a stray shot from a distance, a tragic accident with no killer at all. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Ronald Leight walked free. And that's where the case still sits, more than a century later. A man who admitted the meeting, admitted the deception, admitted destroying the evidence, acquitted. No one else was ever charged. Bella Wright's murder remains officially unsolved, and the green bicycle case is still argued over by criminologists today. The investigation itself was quietly remarkable. A constable who went back for a second look, a hidden serial number that survived a deliberate attempt to erase it, a canal that kept its secret for 7 months, then gave it up an inch at a time. Everything worked, except the verdict. If you believe cases like Bella's deserve to be remembered properly, calmly, and without the noise, subscribe to the Cordon. Next week, we go back inside another case Britain filed away and forgot.